Welcome to Hot Lap News, your weekly F1 fix. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a lap. What is a world champion? The only man who looked Lewis Hamilton in the eye inside the same garage and came out victorious. See when he looks at today's Ferrari. The answer is a diagnosis. A diagnosis so brutal, so precise, and so devastating that it exposes the true illness that has consumed Maranello for decades. Nico Rosberg, the 2016 world champion, has broken his silence. And his words, published by La Gazzetta dello Sport, aren't just an opinion. They are the testimony of an insider who knows the Mercedes winning machine like no one else. Now, watching from the outside, he points to the cultural cancer that prevents Ferrari from becoming champions. And at the center of it all stands Lewis Hamilton, who, according to Rosberg, is now completely lost in a political maze unlike anything he's ever faced before. Welcome back to Hot Lap News. If you're a true fan of Formula One and want to stay on top of everything happening in the sport, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any analysis or breaking news. Today's video is nothing less than a masterclass on politics, management, and culture in Formula One, led by one of the most analytical minds in the paddock. Let's dive into Rosberg's surgical analysis. According to Rosberg, at Ferrari, too many people make decisions. What does that really mean? Let's paint the picture. Imagine a critical decision, approving a new front wing. In a team like Mercedes, the path is clear. Aerodynamicists present the data, technical director James Allison evaluates, Toto Wolff approves, and the decision is executed in days. The command line is vertical, fast, and efficient. Now, at Ferrari, according to Rosberg's vision, that same decision goes through a committee. The head of aerodynamics has one opinion, the chassis performance director another, the sporting director yet another. Each has their own fiefdom, their own veto power, and, most dangerously, their own political agenda to avoid blame if the update fails. A decision that should take days drags on for weeks, sometimes months. Responsibility, instead of being clear, is diluted across multiple layers. And when failure comes, the most popular sport in Maranello begins. The witch hunt. This is the environment Lewis Hamilton, a product of the opposite system, has now entered. At Mercedes, he was part of an unforgiving machine of efficiency, where data reigned supreme, and mistakes were solved through blameless autopsies. The question was never who made the mistake, but what in the process allowed it to happen. Continuous improvement was the culture. At Ferrari, passion, history, and politics reign. Internal relationships and alliances often speak louder than wind tunnel data. And according to Rosberg, this is where Hamilton is lost. When Lewis identifies a problem with the car, who does he call? Who holds final decision-making power? His engineer reports to a manager, who reports to a committee, which may or may not report to Fred Vasseur. What used to be a direct command at Mercedes now risks being lost in a sea of bureaucracy. That's why Hamilton's public comments have become his most powerful weapon. When he says, "I don't know why we're not bringing updates," he's not just informing the media. He's trying to apply external pressure to trigger internal action that, as the most successful driver in history, he can't secure through normal channels. It's a cry of frustration from a genius trapped by the system around him. This chaotic structure fuels a vicious cycle that has haunted Ferrari for years. The culture of blame. The recent past is full of examples. Arrivabene, Mattiacci, Domenicali, Binotto, all eventually scapegoated for lack of titles and sacrificed to appease the fury of the tifosi. But the root problem, the management structure, remains untouched. When Mercedes catastrophically failed with its car concept in 2022, they didn't fire James Allison. They brought him back to the front line. They admitted the mistake, protected their people, and methodically fixed the problem. That's the fundamental difference between a culture of responsibility and a culture of blame. And where does Fred Vasseur fit into all this? That's his great dilemma. He was hired to be the antidote, to bring the logic and pragmatism Ferrari lacked. But now, it seems the culture he came to fix is swallowing him whole. His press conferences, where he refuses to give technical details and lashes out at the media, reflect this. He may be trying to protect his team, but ironically by doing so, he's acting like the leaders of the past, building walls and feeding distrust. Is this his conscious choice for political survival, or is the system simply stronger than he is? Rosberg's diagnosis is so powerful because it goes beyond front wings and floors. He strikes at the heart of the organization. Ferrari's crisis in 2025 won't be solved by a magic upgrade in Austria or Silverstone. It needs a cultural revolution. As long as Ferrari remains a place where too many people decide, it will remain a place where no one consistently wins championships. It's a system that frustrated geniuses like Alonso and Vettel, and now threatens to do the same to the most talented duo on the grid, Leclerc and Hamilton. Rosberg leaves us with a dark and uncomfortable question. Is Ferrari, as an institution, simply incurable? Can a single man, whether a genius driver like Hamilton or a seasoned manager like Vasseur, truly change a culture so deeply rooted in decades of politics, passion, and tradition? We really want to hear your thoughts. Do you agree with Rosberg's diagnosis? Is Ferrari's problem more political and cultural than technical?
Leave your analysis in the comments and let's dive deeper into this debate.
And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to Hot Lap News, and turn on notifications. This is Hot Lap News. See you next time.